So today we're gonna cover how to do this business even with zero money down. How you can co-host other people's properties without any risk, really. Co-hosting meaning that you are helping somebody to host their house for corporate housing. Basically manage it for them. Property management has a lot of regulations, so we just call them co-hosting, and it's a lot easier for people to understand. So first of all, you got to understand the profit. The regular landlord will rent it traditionally for about $3,000. Well, with our help, with our resources, connections, we can actually get double that rental because we rent out to companies, for double the market rent. So when you rent out to companies for double the market rent for like 6,000, for example, in this example, you're going to make about 20% by co-hosting. You charge them about 20 to 30%. But with this model, you charge them 20%, let's say. You're going to make $1,200 a month in passive income. 20% of 6,000 is 1,200. So this is for you. You make the money off of the top. Okay. Whether the landlord make money or not, you be making money. And then the utility is about 500. Vacancy, or you want to buffer 10% is 600. So the total net rent to the owner is 3,700. $700 extra cash flow to the owner. Most long-term landlord only make about a few $100 of traditional rent. They used to make, let's say, $300, about 10% of traditional rent. Now they're making 1,000. So that's triple the cash flow. What kind of landlord doesn't want to triple their cash flow and we do all the work for them? So that's the pitch. That's why it's so lucrative. So it's a win-win for the landlord and win-win for you as the co-hosting as well, because you're helping them making double or triple their cash flow while you making also $1,200 a month on passive income pretty much every month. That's pretty good. Almost passive income, right? It doesn't take much to manage one of these because it's a midterm rental, which is we cater to corporate housing and insurance housing. So they stays at 3 to 5, 6 months. We don't do vacation rental. So it's a lot easier, like 20 times easier to manage. So step two is solving the landlord's problem. If the landlord owner manage the property, they're going to deal with one, tenants can squat in their property 3 to 6 months, sometimes 12 months. Eviction time take a lot of time and money. How many here are landlord? You heard about a bunch of landlord nightmare horror stories, right? With us, we have corporate clients. Our corporate clients are the best of the clients. They're professional, they're medical professional, they are owners, executives. So they're going to take care of the properties very well. They don't want to lose their job. We have zero evictions in the last 9 years of doing this with hundreds of members in our community when it's come to corporate housing, insurance housing. Now, when I did vacation rental and traditional renting, yes, I did have some eviction and that was a nightmare. Okay. I deal with drugs, alcohol, all that crazy stuff. So that's why I don't do that anymore. I experience it. It's a lot of nightmare. But with this, it's corporate clients, it's insurance clients. They're obligated to pay. A lot of times they pay upfront. There's just a different caliber of people and they don't want to mess their property up or their job. So that's why we have zero eviction for the last 9 years with our community, not just me, with my community is over 100 members now. So that's why we focus solely on corporate housing and insurance housing. So you can double or triple the profit for the landlord. Because traditional landlord, they have no profit. Remember, they only make a few $100 a month if they're lucky, paying off their mortgage and stuff like that. Then they still got to fix the whole property after the tenant move out. So even after the tenant move out, they still have to fix everything. And that money costs a lot of money, sometimes $5,000, $10,000. And then they have to maintain the property as well, because regular mom and pop renter, they're not going to care because they're renting the property. They're not going to treat it like it's their own. However, when we manage it, we're going to treat it as our own because it's our livelihood. It's our bread and butter. It's our business. And then the tenants, who is the corporate clients or an insurance clients, they're going to treat it as very well as well, because again, they don't want to lose their job or their reputation or their credit, that kind of thing. So it's so much better than traditional real estate. So step three, now you can pitch the landlord. The pitch is, how would you like to double or triple your cash flow while I do all the work for you? So that's the pitch, okay? You only need a couple of landlords to achieve your financial freedom goal. So don't ever give up, guys, okay? Each landlord could have a few properties for you, I mean, there's one landlord that gave me 10 properties over the last 8, 9 years that I've been with him. So you only need just really a couple of good people believe in you and like and trust you to do business with to have your freedom. Step four is just manage and scale. You give them a monthly report, P&L, what's going in, what's go out, and then you can ask for referral for other people, other investors, also other properties. Now, once you've done one, you can do rinse, repeat, and scale. Just keep doing that. What is the difference between arbitrage and co-hosting? So arbitrage is when you re-rent the property, you rent a place, you furnish it, and then you re-rent it out. That's arbitrage. It's the difference between the price that you rent and then the price that you're going to rent out to. Co-hosting is you are co-hosting, so you don't even need to rent the property. You don't even need any money to buy the furniture. If you can convince the landlord to put up the money up front for the furniture, which if you frame it right, it will be, they will gladly to do that because they are actually making a lot of profit, and the furniture help them to make even more profit. And even the furniture, you can even rent the furniture if they object to that. So there's many ways around that. Okay, so the other difference is arbitrage. You pay first month rent, first month deposit plus furniture. So it's about $12,000 to $15,000 to get one arbitrage going, which you can still make 2 to 3,000. So 6 months, you still make your money back. That's still good return on investment. That's like 200% return, right? That's not bad at all for any kind of return out there, right? But with co-hosting, you don't need to pay first month. You don't need to pay deposit. You don't need to pay for furniture. So it's like infinite return. So it's huge. So that's why it's so popular to scale. You can scale very quickly with this without having a lot of money or a lot of risk involved. The profit now, arbitrage, you make $2,000 to $3,000 per month on average nationwide. If you're in like California, you're in Florida, New York, you're gonna make more like 3,000 or 4,000. I have a student who makes 7,000 a month, couple of them in California with one property. So just depending on where you are, but average 2 to 3K a month. With co-hosting, you're gonna looking to earn about half of that. You're not gonna make as much as arbitrage, but your risks are like very minimal. Okay, that's why your commission is also half of arbitrage. But then remember, you're not risking anything. Okay, with arbitrage, you are risking if you don't have it rent out, you are on the hook for the lease. So you still have to pay for the rent. But there's ways to minimize that. We coach on that, of course. If it doesn't work out for whatever reason, you can still move out and just cut your losses. But your reward on this business is about 10 times to 20 times your risk. So the risk to reward is asymmetrical. That's why we love this business, because it's not like any kind of traditional business. You got to put in hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like I opened like a restaurant type before, where I opened, like put in 400,000, wait a year for it to be built before I collect any money. And then I found out I have a job, and it's it's one of the worst business. Any kind of traditional business, as you know, is just too much overhead. A bunch of employees, just a lot of headaches. I try all kind of businesses. You know, as an immigrant came into America with nothing, I try all kind of business, from multi-level marketing to internet marketing to online sales, offline sales, Amazon, you name it, I probably try it. What I learned is not a lot of those give you positive cash flow, almost passive income that's backed up by real estate, the most solid return. And then it doesn't require a lot of time as well. So anyway, the profit here is pretty good. You just need like 10 co-hosting properties, you make like 10K a month. That's six-figure income. That's how much I was making as a pharmacist after I went to school for 8 years. We got my PhD and my MBA, PharmD as well, to make 10K a month. I'm like, you can do that. We help students from teenager to stay-at-home mom to truck driver make 10K a month in a few months. Okay. So it doesn't take like 10 years like traditionally with any kind of traditional job. It will take about 10 years for you to either go to school, get a degree, or work your way up from corporate America from the bottom up, which, as you know how that goes, is not very fun. So that's why I'm last 5 years of freedom has been amazing. I do what I want to do whenever I want to do it with whomever I want to do it with. And that's what I want for you as well. But with the risk, so arbitrage, you do have some risks. First month deposit, 1 month rent, usually about 5K to 10K if it doesn't work out. If the worst case scenario, okay? But anybody can stomach 5 to 10K because your furniture is still yours. You can move to another property. But remember, your reward is so important, because I learned this from the billionaire, Tony Robbins, learning from all the other billionaires. If a risk to reward ratio is 5 to 1, then they will take the deal. For example, any kind of business, you want to look at the downside first. How much are you willing to lose, right? What's the worst case scenario? With this, the worst case, you only lose 5 to 10K, but what's your winning? Your winning is making 30, 40K a year for the next 5 years. That's like $150,000, $200,000 in profit. So you're risking 5 to 10 to make 100 to 200K. That's a 1 to 20 risk to reward ratio. That's huge. You only need to be right 1 out of 20 times to make money. Versus traditional real estate, when you do like a fix and flip or rehab, you're putting like 100K to buy the property, there's a down payment, and then you put in another 50, 100K to rehab it to make like 100K. You're risking 100K to make 100K. Your risk to reward is 1 to 1. So therefore, it's very risky because if you're doing one wrong thing, your whole nest egg is wiped out. And that's happened to a lot of fix and flipper, a lot of rehabber. I know they make it look sexy on TV, but it's not that sexy about it. Anybody done any rehab, any construction, you guys know, okay? It's the one of the riskiest thing you can do. But with this, you don't have to do any of that rehab. You don't have to buy the property and do all of that. Now with co-hosting, it's even more less risk because you don't even need the first month rent. You don't even need the first month deposit. You just need to work with the property owner. The property owner provide the furniture a lot of time as well. So all you do is leverage our relationship with these corporate clients that we already have established, leverage our knowledge, wisdom, and community to find a client, to host a client, how to do the negotiation, how to set up the property, etc. And then connecting the dots. You can literally be the co-host like within our community as soon as you join. And then any questions, we are there to help you, you know? So it's pretty amazing what the opportunity is here for you. Very low risk for co-hosting. Scale, arbitrage, it's a little bit slower. It's faster than any traditional real estate. However, it still takes 12 to 15K to do a deal, right? So you need to save up to do more deals. With co-hosting, you can literally scale as much as you want, not much capital required. All you need is to find out more landlord allowing you to co-host. Now the co-hosting financial freedom formula. So month one, you do one property, now you have 1K. Month two, you do two property, now you have 3K a month. Month three, you do two more property, now you have 5K. By month six, you have 11 properties, make you 11K a month in passive income. By month 12, you're at 23 property, making you 23K a month. This is pretty good without investing any of your own money, right? Zero money down. I mean, it took me 8 years to get to 10K a month with traditional pharmacist career. Any kind of traditional professional career will take you about 8 to 10 years to get to 10K a month, 10 to 20K. Now this, you can get there within 6 to 12 months. Which one will you choose? That's it, guys. This is the financial freedom formula. This is what I did to get financial freedom. So I teach you from my experience, literally. And this is what I have helped hundreds of people just like you to do the same. If you just follow this formula, you're going to get freedom, okay? Get financial freedom for the rest of your life. So now you can put it on steroid too because you do co-hosting. So instead of doing, for those of you who are overachiever, any overachiever in here, high achiever, you can do 3 properties instead of 2 properties. Month one, you do 1 property, get your feet wet, learn how to do it. By month 2, you have to do 3 properties. Now you have 4K a month in passive income. By month 3, you do another 3 properties, and you do this. By month 6, you should have $16,000 in passive income. And then by month 12, you have $34,000 in almost passive income, right? Depending on how fast, how much ambition you have, how much you want to go, okay? We have our record students done 5 properties within 1 month. Another student had done 4 properties in a month. So it's just depending on how fast you want to grow. But with this co-hosting, you don't need that much money to get going at all. So literally, you can go as fast as you want.